Hi, good morning everyone. Welcome to our Maritime English session. And for today, this is brought about to us through the generous support of the Gimyang Shipping Seafarers Union. Without, of course, their dedication to all of you, to our seafarers, for their continuous learning and welfare, this lesson would not be or would not have been possible, no? And since I'm your teacher for today, Teacher Shelly, a strong English skills to open doors across the global maritime industry could help really everyone about the basics of maritime English lesson. Now, whether it's a standard wheel commands or for a port operations or like for our environmental compliance reporting, being confident in maritime English makes you a stronger and a more capable crew member, right? Now, by making this training available, no, from the Gimyang Shipping Seafarers Union, since they are the ones giving us the tools to excel and in advance in our careers, we will just give extra effort, no, to participate in this lesson, and by making this training available, the Gimyang Shipping Seafarers Union is giving us really the tools, no, to excel and in making our knowledge to advance in our careers, right? So today, I'll make it more easier for everyone to understand more about fire emergency basics. Okay, now we'll be going through a real world scenarios here and some essential terminologies and a practical communication tools wherein you can actually use on board. And in this lesson, this is a safe space to practice, to learn, and then sharpen our skills together. All right? So let's show our appreciation by bringing our full focus today. Okay? So now let's kick off today's topic. So welcome to Maritime English week 79th, day 1. Okay? Now, our topic is again about fire, no? Our learning objectives here is to learn what is the meaning of fire extinguisher. Okay? And then we can learn also the purpose of it, no? And then the different types of fire extinguishers, and we will understand the basic maritime importance of different types of fire extinguishers. Okay. So let's begin the contents of our lesson for today. So, of course, the fire classes, we have to differentiate, okay, each class of fire. And then the introduction of all about fire extinguishers, okay? And then we will distinguish the difference between the water and the foam fire extinguishers, and how it differentiates with the carbon dioxide. And of course, the last part is our question and answer. Okay. So, okay, let's just have a short review of our previous topic. about fire. Okay? So, basically, a fire is a rapid chemical reaction that produces heat. Okay? There's a light and smoke. Okay? Now, technically, fire is not a solid, neither a liquid or a gas. Okay? Now, it is the visible manifestation of a process called combustion. Okay? Now, when we say combustion, this is a specific word for burning. Okay? Now, this is also a chemical reaction where a substance reacts quickly with oxygen. And in the process, it gives off a lot of heat and light. Okay? Now, to make combustion happen, okay, you always need three things. Or what we often called as the fire triangle. Okay? Now, for the fuel, okay, this is usually coming from the air. Okay? I'm sorry. Fuel is something to burn. Like a wood, a paper, a gasoline, or a wax. Okay? Now, next to it, okay, that fire needs is oxygen. This is what I said, usually from the air. And then, we also have heat. Heat, this is the ignition source to get fire started, like a match or a spark. Okay? So, removing one of the one of this element, automatically it stops the fire. Alright? So, a combustion occurs when a fuel reacts quickly with oxygen and a high temperature. Okay? Now, for our everyday examples of this three or this fire triangle, a burning candle, okay, is an example to that, which is the fuel. Okay? Because the wax acts as the fuel, it reacts with oxygen in the air, it creates flame. Okay? Now, for the wood, which is an example, once it is combined with the oxygen, it produces heat and light. Right? Another example, a car engine. Okay? that serves as the fuel. Gasoline combusts inside the engine to create the energy to move the car, right? So, those are our everyday examples of how combustion is processed. Okay? So, basically, that is what fire really means and how it is processed or created. So, heat, fuel, and oxygen should be present. Removing one of the element, it stops the fire. Okay? Now, yes, this is the fire triangle. We have the heat, we have the fuel, we have the oxygen. Okay? Removing the oxygen, it stops the fire. Removing the fuel, it stops the fire. Removing the heat, it stops the fire. So these three should be present in order to create a fire. That is why they are called fire triangle. Alright? Okay, so let's go to fire tetrahedron. So this fire tetrahedron is a simple four-sided pyramid. Okay? That represents the ingredients a fire needs to start, to burn, and to keep it going. So there should be fuel, the combustible material that burns, this one, like the wood, the paper, the flammable liquids, and the gases. And heat should also be present. Okay? The source of the energy. What causes the heat? Okay? Like the match, the spark. Okay? In order to raise its ignition temperature. And another is the oxygen. Yes, the air. Yeah, this one. So the oxidizing agent that sustains the combustion process is the oxygen, which is typically found everywhere because we inhale oxygen. So that is a part of this is a part of a element, no, in order to create fire. So we also have a chemical chain reaction. Once these three, oxygen, the heat, and the fuel, and there is a chemical reaction, it creates, or it simply called fire tetrahedron. Okay? One of the ingredient to keep the fire burning, to keep it going. Okay? So the rapid or the self-sustaining chemical reaction that occurs between the fuel, the heat, and the oxygen, okay? That reaction keeps the fire going. Okay? So, if there's fuel, there's heat, there's oxygen, and there's a chemical reaction of these three, it will keep the fire going, or it will keep the fire burning. So what do we need here? It should be fire extinguisher. Okay? So, for the fire tetrahedron, why do you think it matters? Okay, now, because if you remove or break one of these four elements, okay, the fire instantly goes out. Okay? Now, for example, smothering a fire. We will remove the oxygen through spraying a water. It removes right away the heat, right? Or maybe a dry chemical, okay? Or a dry powder type of fire extinguisher. It interrupts right away the chemical reaction, the chemical chain reaction. So, we can put out the fire right away, right? So, the four essential elements, though, fuel, heat, and oxygen is the fire triangle. And if we will add up the chemical chain reaction of these three, it will keep the fire burning, and it will keep on spreading. Okay, once this fuel, heat, and oxygen are combined together. Alright? So, we will discuss. Okay, these are the examples, the shipboard examples. Commonly, it's through the fire is common in the engine room and accommodation fire, and in the galley, and in the cargo hold fire. So, it is here where fire is very common. So, we have to be very extra careful. In the engine room, in the accommodation, in the galley, and in the cargo hold. So, there are different fire extinguishers used here, okay? So, we'll discuss it then, okay, after. So, we have to identify first the fire classes, okay? So, these are the fire classes. Okay. For the fire class A, these are the ordinary combustibles, like the paper, the clothing materials, the plastic materials, and the wood. So these are the ordinary combustible materials. Okay? So that is classified as class A fire. Okay? Ordinary combustible. Now for the class B, we call it the flammable liquids and gases. So this includes the paint. Okay? The oil, the gasoline, the propane gas. Okay? So, this is classified as the flammable liquids and gases as fire class B. Okay? And for the class C, which is the electrical fires, this one, our plugs, no, on board, our engine or electrical wirings, no, this is classified as the C, as the electrical fires. Okay? And not just on board, but also in our home, no? There are electrical wirings. Okay? And then for the fire class D, we have the combustible metals. Okay? Metals. So, it can be used on combustible metals like this one. We have also this type of materials as our cargo, right? So, whenever you travel or you have a voyage with this type of cargo materials, we have to be very careful also because once we have a port or a country, when we travel from one country like in the Middle East, we all know very well that it's a hot, or their temperature or their weather is different from the cold weathered country, no? So this type of material easily um creates heat, right? So since this is made of metal, so it easily what do you call this, starts with a spark or if a heat, no? So once this is exposed, it could possibly create fire. Okay? So these combustible metals are classified as class D. Okay? Now for the kitchen fires, well, we all know that we have galley on board. So all the oils, the fats, and other materials or ingredients that can create fire is classified as class K, kitchen fires. Alright? For class A examples, yes, we have wood, combustible materials. We have paper, our clothes, our furnitures, right? So this is considered as class A. And then for class B, we have the fuel, we have the oil, we have the diesel, the paint, and the petroleum. Okay? So these are the combustible liquids and gases. And then we have class C. Yes, our switchboards, our generators, and some other motor equipments. Okay? Electrical materials or equipments. Okay. Now for class D, the metal fires, yes, the magnesium metal, the titanium metal, the aluminum powders. Okay? So these are all the examples for class D metal fires. Okay. Some called it class K and some called it class F. So this is the cooking materials, the fats in the fryer. Okay? The deep fat fryer. Class F or class K. Okay. So these are the different types of fire extinguishers. Okay. The common question is, what is this all about? What is fire extinguisher? Okay. A fire extinguisher, this is a device or a portable safety device Now, this is designed to control or extinguish small fires before they spread to a bigger fire. Okay? Now, they have different. We have carbon dioxide, we have foam fire extinguisher, we have powder, and then we have water. Okay? Now, each of these have different functions or purpose. Okay. So, first, a portable extinguisher was invented in 1818 or 1818 and was developed by Captain George William Mandy. Okay? And he used copper container which is filled with potassium and carbonate solution. Okay? Now, before, they call it a soda acid extinguisher. And then, he developed it to a foam extinguisher. Okay, and then, he called it carbon dioxide fire extinguisher. Okay, and then, again, he developed it into a dry chemical powder. Okay, and then finally, up to the present times, he created or developed it into a modern clean agents. Okay, so this is the transition from 1900s up to the present. The development of fire extinguisher. Okay? Now, the types of fire extinguisher. Okay. So, for our lesson 79th, day 1, we have here a soda acid extinguishers. The very first fire extinguishers that was developed by Captain George. Okay. Now, the chemical used by Captain George was a sulfuric acid and a sodium bicarbonate. Okay? Now, the process is you have to turn this upside down in order to activate. No, you have to turn it upside down in order to activate. And then you spray the mixture on fire. Okay? The only limitation for this is it's heavy. Okay? And it's corrosive. The corrosive residue. And this is only used once. Okay? Single use only. That's the soda acid extinguisher. So once you open this one, you have to consume everything. Okay? So this is the first fire extinguisher that was developed by Captain George. This next one is the foam extinguisher that was developed in 1920s. Okay? This is the foam extinguisher. Now this one is also what they call the aqueous film forming foam or the AFFF. Now, this foam extinguishers is used for a class B fire like the flammable liquids and gases. You have to use a foam fire extinguisher. Okay? Or in the kitchen, you can also use fire blankets, right? And you also use cooling and smothering way, no? So, this one is or was developed in order for aircraft purposes and for the oil tires. Okay? Now, since this is made of foam, as I said, this is the class B, which is used for flammable liquids. Okay? So next is the carbon dioxide type, the CO2 carbon dioxide, and was developed in 1940s. Okay? This is a liquefied carbon dioxide, or this is pressurized liquid carbon dioxide. Okay? Now, once you spray this one, the CO2, it displaces right away the oxygen. Remember, once oxygen is reduced, it automatically put out the fire because oxygen should be present in the fire triangle. Okay? So, this is used for class C fire. Okay? For the flammable liquid type of fire, class B, and also for class C, for electrical. So, CO2 is used for, again, class B type of fire, which is the flammable liquids and gases, and for class C, which is the electrical type of fire. Okay, you use liquefied CO2. Okay, now for the dry chemical or the dry chemical powder, which was developed in 1960s. Okay, the content of the powder is the monoammonium phosphate. Now, this one, it interrupts the chemical chain reaction of fire for class A, the combustible materials, for class B, the flammable liquids, and for class C, the electrical. Okay? So you use dry chemical powder for class A, B, and C type of fire. Now for for number 5 type of fire extinguisher, which is the modern clean agents. That's what we are using now at present, the clean agent. This is the gaseous and ozone-friendly agents. Okay? It removes heat and it interrupts reaction. Okay? The effect of this is fast and efficient to suppress the fire. Okay? And it uses a sensitive electronics. It is used for sensitive electronics like in the museums, okay, in the data centers, and it leaves no residue. Okay? For the modern clean agents now at present. Alright? Now, the importance on ships of these fire extinguishers. Well, basically, it protects lives. This is our number one objective, really. Protects lives. It prevents vessel damage. Right? It reduces cargo loss. And it supports emergency response required by SOLAS. So, that's the importance of fire extinguishers on ships. Okay? Okay. Now, this is what I mentioned, or this is what I discussed earlier. The different fires require different extinguishers. Yes. So, for class A, right, the combustible materials, the very common and or the material that is easily that easily catches fire is wood, the paper, and the cloth. Okay, you can use a type A fire extinguisher or type AB or the type ABC. Okay, for these ordinary combustibles. Now, for the flammable liquids, the class B, the gasoline, the paints, the oils, and the grease, you can use the type AB, BC, or ABC fire extinguishers. Now, for the class C, for the electrical equipment, like the electrical wiring, the fuse box, you can use the type B, C, or the type ABC fire extinguishers. And we have the combustible metal. For the D, the metals, okay, you can use the bucket of sand, okay, and the type D fire extinguisher. All right, and then we have the cooking equipment for the class K, whether it is a cooking oil, like the fats in the fryer, okay, you use the wet chemical or the class K type of fire extinguishers. Okay, so that's very important. Whenever there is fire on board, you use the correct or the proper fire extinguisher. Now, whenever you use a wrong fire extinguisher, it can spread fire immediately. It can cause electrocution. It can cause explosion risk. And also it can cause further burn injuries whenever you use a wrong fire extinguisher. Imagine, it can spread fire, it can cause electrocution, it can cause explosion risk, and it can cause further burn injuries. So, it is better to use a correct type of fire extinguishers. So, you have to know first what is the cause of fire. Okay? Now, we have different maritime English vocabularies that we heard, no? During the discussion, we have the word extinguished, we have the word discharge, we have the nozzle, the pressure, the cylinder, the handle, the pin, and the hose. So these are the common maritime English vocabulary words. Okay, now we will go to the water fire extinguisher. Okay. Water fire extinguisher is color red. Okay? Now, how it works? Okay. Here, this is the CO2 cartridge. Okay? Inside the fire extinguisher, we have the siphon tube and then the water. So, water is filled up to here, almost 3/4 of the fire extinguisher. Okay? So, fire extinguisher removes heat right away. Okay? To cool down. Okay? Now, here, this is the safety pin. This is the handle. And this is the hose. Okay? So, once the safety pin is removed, you hold the handle, and then the hose, you use this one to put out the fire. Okay? This is the water fire type of extinguisher. The red color. Okay. So, we use water extinguisher to put out the fire for class A. Okay? Once the cause of the fire is, or the material, the combustible materials are wood, paper, and clothing or fabric, automatically you use water fire extinguisher. Okay? To cool down and then to put out the fire. Now, water fire extinguisher is not suitable or not used for electrical fires and oil fires. Why? Because it will further spread the fire. It can cause electrocution here. Okay? Here, it spreads the fire. When you use water extinguisher. So, please do not use water fire extinguisher for this type of fire. Electrical and oil fires. Alright? Next. Okay. The advantages of water fire extinguisher is, number one, this is cheaper. It's so simple to use. And of course, it is effective. But only for a specific class of fire. Okay? Only for combustible materials. Use water fire extinguishers. Okay. The only disadvantage for water type of extinguisher is it conducts electricity. Okay? It conducts this electricity. Okay. This is very common in the bridge, in the accommodation area, or in the galley. Okay? Or in the cabins. Alright? Very common. Okay. So, what are we going to do? So, for the trash bin fire, you use water type of fire extinguisher. Alright? Next is, yes, what are you going to say? Used water extinguisher. And then we have foam fire extinguisher. So, a foam fire extinguisher is beige or cream color, right? Because the water is red. This one, for the foam, this is cream label or beige in color. So, how it works? Okay? This is the foam, the topmost, and the internal tube. So, this is the foam solution. Okay? So, this is the foam nozzle. This is the hose. This is the handle. This is the pin. Once you pull this one, you can right away hold this one and then aim for the nozzle. Okay? So, this is what is inside the foam fire extinguisher. There's still water underneath, but there is foam on top of it. So, it cuts oxygen and then it cools the surface. Okay, because of the water. The mixture of the water and the foam. Okay? So, this foam extinguisher is used for class A. Yes, you can because there's water also. For wood, paper, and cloth. But this is specifically used for class B, like for the gasoline, the paints, the grease, and the oils. Alright? Okay. Though this is also used for class A, but this is more advisable for class B because a plain water fire extinguisher can also be used for class A, specifically for class A. Alright? Now, yes. So this is an excellent type of fire extinguisher, the foam fire extinguisher for fuel fires. Okay? But not suitable for electrical equipment because it will only aggravate the fire. Alright? Next is where it is commonly located. The fire. The fuel station, of course. Alright? During bunkering, you have to be ready with your foam type of fire extinguisher. Alright? So, this one, yes, the gas, the diesel spill. Okay? Accidentally, there's a spill, oil spill on board. Okay? You use the beige color foam fire extinguisher. Okay, next is our vocabularies. Yes, the foam blanket and the cream label, right, represents the foam fire extinguisher. Okay? Okay. Now, we also have carbon dioxide, the CO2 extinguisher. Okay. Now, this CO2 is labeled as black. Right? Again, for the water, it's red. For the foam, it's cream or beige. But for the CO2 or carbon dioxide, it's black. Okay? Black label. So, CO2, as we all know, cannot be mixed with oxygen. Okay? So, once CO2 is present and it is sprayed on a fire, oxygen is removed right away. So, inside the fire extinguisher is this high pressure valve. We have the pressure gauge. We have here the liquid carbon dioxide, which is just stored underneath the pressurized valve. Okay? So, this is the discharge orifice opening. Okay? We have here the snow discharge horn and the discharge horn assembly. Okay? So, this is used or suitable for this type of fire, the electrical fires. So, we used carbon dioxide type of fire extinguishers. Okay? This is the CO2 sprayed on the electrical fires. Automatically, the oxygen is removed. And remember, once one of the fire triangle is removed, it automatically put out the fire. Okay? Now, the advantages of this. It leaves no residue. Okay? So, after spraying the CO2 in the electrical area, it leaves no residue or residue-free. The only disadvantage for this is that suffocation. Okay? Because we do not inhale CO2, only oxygen. Okay? Always remember that. That's why the disadvantage of using a CO2 is suffocation. We cannot inhale carbon dioxide because we only inhale oxygen in order for us to survive. Right? So that is the big disadvantage of a carbon dioxide. Okay? Though there is an advantage to that, but it's dangerous. Okay? Whenever we inhale the carbon dioxide. Okay. This one is an example of a generator fire inside the engine room. The generator fire, we use carbon dioxide. And with a proper PPEs, of course, you're going to be safe. Okay? Yes. So this is the one way of commanding or instructing the fire team, no? Discharge CO2. Okay. So basically, we have already discussed about the basics of how we are going to use the fire extinguishers, the different types of fire extinguishers. Now, we'll go to our quiz, all right, for our question and answer. So, what is the main purpose of a fire extinguisher? What do you think is the main purpose? Okay. Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay. Of course, it's letter B. we have to control or extinguish the small fires. That is the that is the main purpose of a fire extinguisher, to control or extinguish only small type of fires. Alright? Now, for question number 2. Oh, who invented the first portable fire extinguisher? It's Captain George William Mandy, right? And he developed fire extinguisher last 1818, and with his proper knowledge and proper study, he was able to develop the fire extinguishers up to the present. Okay? Next is, which of the following is one reason why fire extinguishers are very important on ships? So what do you think? It's letter C. They protect lives and reduce damage. That is the reason why fire extinguishers are important on ships. Next is, according to the fire triangle. Alright, still remember, the fire triangle is R. What? The fuel, oxygen, and heat. So what are these three elements needed for fire? Yes, it's the heat, the fuel, and the oxygen. The absence of one of these three, there will be no fire. Right? Next is for number 5. What additional element is included in the fire tetrahedron? Yes, it's the chemical reaction. So once there is fire, there is heat, there is fuel, and there's a mixture of that, there will be a fire tetrahedron that will be developed. And then, that is what you call the chemical chain reaction that keeps the fire burning. Okay? Now, for number 6, which fire class involves wood, paper, and cloth? So, what class of fire? The combustible materials. It's class A, of course. The combustible materials. And then for number 7, a diesel fuel fire belongs to which fire class? Is it A, B, C, or D? It's class B, of course. Because class A is combustible, class B is the liquid combustible, class C is the electrical, and class D is the cooking materials. And for number 8, which fire extinguisher is best for a fire involving electrical equipment? Oh, it's A, B, C, or D. Okay, it's carbon dioxide. Okay? Because carbon dioxide emits carbon dioxide. Okay? And this is best for electrical equipment because you cannot spray water to it. Okay? And then for number 9, which type of fire should never be extinguished using a water extinguisher? Yes. What type of fire? Never. Letter? Of course. Letter D. Water extinguisher is only used for paper fire, for wood fire, okay, and for cloth cause of fire. And then for number 10, how does a foam extinguisher help put out a fire? Foam extinguisher. Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay? It cuts off oxygen. Yes. Okay? The foam extinguisher cuts off oxygen. Alright? Now, okay. Oh, wow. So, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for listening. And that wrap ups our maritime English lesson for today. No? And we are marking the completion of our day 1 of our 79th week. Right? So first and foremost, a sincere thank you, no, to the Gimyang Shipping Seafarers Union for their steadfast support. Really. Now, it is through, of course, their commitment to the seafarers' welfare and their education that we are able to continue this learning process week after week after week. Right? And to all our trainees, thank you so much for your active participation, for your patience, and for your dedication today. Okay? And just think of mastering maritime English takes a continuous effort. No, really, it's a continuous effort. And then your commitment for today's learning brings you to one step closer to a safer, a more confident communication at sea. Right? So, rest well for today, and I look forward to seeing everyone you back on Wednesday for our day 2. And again, this is your teacher for today, Teacher Shelly. I'll see you all again on Wednesday. Have a good day, everyone.